You can spend years building something you believe in, and watch it disappear without anyone noticing. Subluminal was me spending years building in silence. But putting your best work into the world does not mean the world will care. I know, because I did this for 5 years. I spent 5 years making this game, and almost nobody played it. February 2nd, 2024, launch day. No announcements, no marketing, no audience. Put everything into building the thing, and almost nothing into making sure anyone was waiting for it. This is that story. So let's go back to 2019. At the time, I was working full-time as an electronics engineer. And then I decided I wanted to destroy any life outside of work and make a game. Now, the smart decision here would have been to pick something small. Instead, I went after a physics-heavy acrobatic car platformer. Because physics was one of the only things I was actually decent at. I looked at my extremely limited skill set and said, yeah, that'll scale. So naturally, my conclusion was, if I can do the physics part, the rest of the game development should basically sort itself out. Which is kind of like being good at frying eggs and deciding you should open up a restaurant. Because making the physics part was one skill, and then there was modeling, UI, UX, composition, color, music, sound effects, particles, levels, gameplay, optimization, polish, marketing. You know, the rest of the game. I just knew I wanted to make something, and that was enough for me to ruin the next 5 years of my life. For the first 4 years, it was just me in the game. No devlogs, no deadline, no one watched me slowly mutate into a cave creature. Then in March 2023, I said this. That's right, by May of 2023, you're going to see old grandpa here get dragged away by force, because I'm going to finish this game at the cost of my sanity. At the time, I genuinely thought this was genius. Because apparently I thought saying May 2023 out loud on the internet would do 3 things. Force me to finish, make people care, and somehow cash in 4 years worth of effort overnight. And I'm making these video logs to teach kids not to do game dev. That was apparently the strategy, delude myself in public until the game existed. And honestly, it kind of worked. The game actually looked better. May 2023, that's right, May of 2023. So now I had 4 years of work, a public deadline, and enough false confidence to keep getting myself into trouble. And here's the part that gets a lot of people. The decisions that quietly ruin your plans usually feel smart when you make them. For me, one of the first big traps was multiplayer. Because, be honest, that sounds completely reasonable. Every successful game has multiplayer, so in my head, this was an easy win. Like, yeah, just add the mode and keep it moving. What I didn't understand is that sometimes you think you're adding one thing, when you're actually building a whole second house because you wanted a new window. Multiplayer wasn't just, cool, now 2 people can play. It was now 2 machines trying to agree on everything all the time without exploding. I thought I was adding fun. Instead, I was actually adopting a second project. And the worst part is, it still felt like progress. Because technically, multiplayer was moving along. And I would have absolutely told you at the time that everything was going great. Eventually, I had to admit it. Multiplayer had to go. And yes, cutting it was finally the smart move. The problem is, I made that move after I've already used up an entire year of my life. I finally realized I had been building a second house by accident. And cutting multiplayer did not magically save me. It just moved me into the part that nobody really talks about. The gap between it works and it actually feels finished. Almost all of that gap goes completely unnoticed. One more fix, one more menu, one more sound, one more visual tweak, just one more thing before it's done. And every single one of those things sounds reasonable. That's why this phase is so dangerous. Things are getting better, and then you keep finding more. So I kept saying, I'm almost done. I just need to fix these last few things. And somehow, you're still not done. There's this famous saying that goes, quote, the first 90% of the code accounts for the first 90% of the development time. The remaining 10% of the code accounts for the other 90% of the development time, end quote. And the scary part is, I still thought May 2023 was possible. So after 5 years of dragging this thing uphill, I finally made the most generous decision a broken person can make. I made the game free. And to be clear, this was not some beautiful, I just want people to enjoy my art moment. I mean, I do want people to enjoy it, but this was me looking at the situation and realizing nobody cared. I was exhausted, and I was now willing to remove literally every possible excuse for people not to try it. I wasn't really trying to make money anymore. I was trying to prove 5 years of work meant something. Like maybe free would make it spread more, get more people in, build a community. Maybe free would finally make this visible. Then launch day came. February 2nd, 2024. No YouTube video, no tweets, no Instagram posts, no countdown, no big day guys, we did it. I just hit publish. And then basically walked away from my own launch. which as a launch strategy is pretty close to leaving a baby on a doorstep and driving off. And the reason I didn't announce is not complicated. I knew it wasn't where I wanted it to be. There were still problems everywhere, and if I pushed for more announcements and got ignored more, that would just feel worse than just releasing it quietly and moving on. I released 5 years of work like I was trying not to wake somebody up. It wasn't even dramatic, it was numb. That's what I remember the most. Just me looking at the game like, alright there, it's out, let's just move on. And for the first month, the game got 462 downloads, so technically it wasn't zero. But for 5 years of work, that number hit like a funeral. Some people did play it, and I appreciate those people deeply. Before I released the game, I left a message inside of it. A note for people who played it. Let's read a part of it. Hey, thanks for playing Subluminal. There are a few blue-balling moments that I am aware of that you may have in this game. One of the worst ones will be collisions. I couldn't for the life of me get collisions right, so this old cock block of a move made me persistent since I wanted to be free. Another not so cash money move of me will be no level editor. I know that would make this game a million times better with public maps, but so would a lot of other features like ghosts, replays, better arts, more visual audio indicators, more cars, car customizations, and multiplayer. Last ball twister is car handling. I made the grave mistake of not making my own custom car and tried out an engine pre-made one. And oh boy, let me tell you, that was the wrong decision. It's extremely difficult to customize Subluminal and so many variables are restricted for realism, forcing me to make multiple workarounds to get something decent out. If this project gets traction, I'll pick this back up. At the time of this writing, statistically this game isn't going too hot since I don't know how to market and I'm poop at social media. And then the rest of this is me admitting that I didn't realize how big this project was. So after all that, you think I'd learned my lesson. Like, maybe I'd take the hint and stop making giant solo projects. Maybe develop a healthy relationship with my time. Nah, I didn't do any of that. I took like a month off, felt weird without working on something, and then immediately started making another solo game. Yeah. So naturally, after spending 5 years lighting myself on fire, I put my hands right back into the flames. But this time, at least I know what the mistake is. Now I'm trying to build a part that gets people to notice. I still suck hard at it, and if I launch tomorrow, this new project would also get folded like a launcher. But at least now, I understand why. You're watching me try to fix that in real time. Subluminal was me spending years building in silence. MageGuard is me trying to do both halves at once. The lesson was that I spent 5 years learning how to make the game, and almost no time learning how to make anybody care that it existed. I built the product and I ignored the audience for 5 years. Making something good and making people care are not the same thing. And the stupid part is, I'm doing it again. So, if you want to see whether this idiot gets it right this time, stick around, or don't. I clearly have a problem, and I'm going to keep doing this either way. By the way, MageGuard Tower has a free demo on Steam right now. Go try it. Tell me it's great. Lie if you have to.